Hello and welcome to asynchronous lesson number 7, and this time it's the progress test number 4, and you have it in your workbooks page 88. So let's get started with the first exercise here. It's reading exercise. Complete the article below with words from the list. Use each word only once. Here we have words in the box. So let's see. It says the final challenge. So until 1953, nobody, and then we have space, climbed Mount Everest. So if we look at the words that we have, we find that it's had climbed. All right, this is past perfect. At the highest mountain in the world. Then in 1953, the British mountaineer Edmund Hillary and the Nepalese guide Tenzing Norgay succeeded reaching. Here we need a preposition for succeed, and it's going to be in reaching the summit. In the next 30 years, there were other Everest firsts, including the first solo climb and the first climb, and then we have space and a woman, so it's by a woman, the first climb by a woman. All these people had taken bottles of oxygen, and then we have number 4 space, help them climb. So here we have a verb, so it's to help them climb. But many mountaineers wanted to climb using their natural ability without oxygen. Two of these, and we have the two names, so we use, yes, were. So two of these were Reynold Messner and Peter Habler. In 1975, they amazed people by climbing Gasherbrum, the 11th highest mountain in the world, without oxygen. Okay. Of course, you need time to do this, so I suggest that you try to do it first by yourself, and then you check answers with me here. All right, let's continue. When Messner and Habeler started planning to climb Everest without oxygen, other climbers called foolish. Here we have an object called them foolish. They warned that the oxygen levels, the top of Everest, were so low. Here we have a place, so it's at the top, were so low that breathing would, and then we have an adjective in number 5. So verb to be in the base form would be difficult, and that the men would risk brain damage if they did this climb. However, Mr. and Habler did, of course, here we have a negative, did not listen, and made their first attempt in April 1978. After 2 failures, they nearly gave up but decided to make a final attempt. The last paragraph. At these very high altitudes, the little oxygen in the air, everything the men did took much longer. And here we have normal, so we have then, because here we have comparison, comparative adjective, so it took much longer than normal. Every few meters they fell down exhausted and had to rest. Eventually, at about 2 p.m. and I have a date here, on May 8th, 1978, Messner and Habler became the first men to reach the summit of Everest without oxygen. So apparently they succeeded in the end of their attempts. All right. Now we have another exercise on the passage. Says read the article again. Are these statements true or false? And justify your answers. So the first one says the first woman climbed Everest before 1953. If we go back to the passage, yes, we'll find out that this is false, and the correction or why it is false, because the first woman climbed Everest between 1953 and 1975. All right. The second one, B, until the mid 1970s, all mountaineers had used oxygen when they were climbing. Yes, that's true, as they here advised them to do the same. Right, so in 1975, two men were the first to climb a mountain without oxygen. The next one, C. Other climbers advised Messner and Haveler not to risk climbing Everest without oxygen. And of course, this is true, and it clearly says so in the passage, because other climbers considered it foolish to climb without oxygen. Very good job. So let's move on to exercise number 3. Answer the following questions. What was Messner and Haveler's first achievement in mountain climbing? Again, you need to have the book opened so that you can go back to the passage to check your answer here. So it says here that Messner and Haveler's first achievement was climbing Gasherbrum without oxygen. So this is their first achievement. Right. The second question says, how many times did they try to climb Everest? And from the passage, we know that they attempted to climb Everest 3 times. They failed in 2 times and they succeeded in the last one. Why did it take Messner and Habler a lot of time to reach the summit? What was their problem? Of course, the lack of oxygen meant they kept falling down every few meters in exhaustion, and they had to stop and then keep going. So that's why it took them a lot of time. All right, now let's move on to another type of question. Here, this question is grammar and language practice. Choose the correct verb to complete these sentences. So, before Hillary and Tenzing succeeded in 1953, people had tried or have been trying to reach the summit of Everest for many years. Now, notice here, for many years. Yes, had been trying, so this is past perfect continuous. Very good. The second one, before Messner and Habler, no one had attempted or had been attempting to climb Everest without oxygen, and this one is, yes, you guessed it right, had attempted. Here we have the event that happened before another event. This is past in the past, this is past perfect simple. Sentence C, Messner and Habler ignored, they didn't take seriously the warnings that other climbers had given or had been given them. Yes, very good, had given. Again, here it's the same, like sentence B. And the next one, D, in May 1978, Messner and Habler had already made or had already been making 2 unsuccessful attempts to reach the summit. We have a number here of the trials or attempts, so it is had already made. I cannot use the continuous form here. The next one, E, just before they reached the summit, they had fallen down or had been falling down every few meters. Yes, so this one is, yes, had been falling because this action was repeated in the past before another action that happened. And the last one, F, 3 years earlier, they had successfully climbed or had successfully been climbing. So, yes, had successfully climbed. Very good. Good job so far. Let's move on to another exercise. Here, exercise number 2, complete these conversations using the correct form of the verbs in brackets. Choose the best tense and decide whether to use the active or the passive. So it's according to the sentence itself. So the first one, A, how is your car after the accident? He said, B, well, it still goes all right, but it's badly scratched. So we need to use it and have to repaint. Yes, what do you think? All right, so it will have to be repainted if I'm going to do it in the future, or it has to be repainted if I'm talking about the present tense. Now let's do the second one. How about the other car? Unfortunately, it was so badly damaged it could not repair. So I need to use the negative here because I have unfortunately, so it couldn't be repaired. All right. The next one, you fill in the application form for that job yet, and here is the question. So very good. Have you filled in the application form? Okay, so have you filled in? And he responded, yes, I did yesterday. Don't forget, it have to post before next Tuesday. So this is what, yes, you guessed it right. That's future. So it has to be posted, or it will have to be posted before next Tuesday. The next one, C. Why do these photos look so terrible? Because you take them facing the sun. So this cannot be take. We need to change that. And photos should always take with the sun behind you. So you took them. This is past simple, facing the sun, and photos should always be taken. Should be taken. This is passive with the sun behind you. All right. The next one, D. Were you expecting a letter? Yes, but it could send to the wrong address. Of course, here this is passive, could have been sent to the wrong address. All right, the next sentence, E. Have you played this new computer game? I would like to, but my computer is too old. It have to upgrade. So here we have it. We need to change have into will have or has to be upgraded. All right, so it will have to be upgraded is for the future tense. The next one, F. Why did that driver not slow down? He's crazy. He must seen the sign, so he must have seen the sign. All right. Very good job. Now let's move on to exercise number 3. Rewrite the following as single sentences using a verb in the ing form. So I'm going to change the verb in the second sentence into an ing form, and let's do it like this. The first one, here we have Ali trained and he ran, so I can say running. Okay, so I cross out the subject and the verb, I turn it into ing. So here he was careful about his diet and then ate into eat, and it becomes eating. Very good. The next one, as a result, he became slimmer and fitter. He lost. So he lost. The verb lost is in the past, but I change it into losing. Very good. The next one, you can do it now. Slept. All right, sleeping. And got up. Excellent getting. And the last one, he came. Super. Yes, coming. Very good job indeed. Okay. And now to exercise number 4. Complete these sentences with words formed from the words in capital. Now we have words in capital here. We need to change to use them to complete the sentences. My brother is a very, I cannot say talent, basketball player. I need an adjective, so I say talented. Very good. His greatest strength is his. Here I have able, but I need a noun here, so I change it into ability. Right. And the second one, B. Only certain kinds of people have. Here I have brains, so I need an adjective before it. So from mathematics, yes, you guessed it right, mathematical, right. The next one, the earthquake caused terrible. This is an adjective, so I need a noun. From destroy, the verb, very good, destruction. The next one, D, what sports are increasing in this is a preposition, so I need a noun. From popular, the adjective, popularity, very good. And the next one, many important. I have the word history as a noun, but I have events as a noun, so I need here an adjective. So historical. And the last one, she is very skilled. Here we have is and very as an adverb, so I need an adjective. So the adjective of skill is skilled here to complete the sentence. Very good job so far. You've done a wonderful job. Okay, so the last thing we're going to do here is the writing. And here it says, write an essay in answer to the question below. Write 200 to 220 words. And the topic is, what do you think about people who risk their lives climbing mountains? This is the question. So here you need to talk about or to write about the risk, okay, of mountain climbing and why do people do such thing. Follow this paragraph plan. Introduce the topic of mountaineering as your introduction. Give some different opinions about mountaineering, the idea of mountaineers themselves and non-mountaineers. So here you can have different views on the topic. Then describe your own theory as to why people risk their lives climbing mountains. Here you give your own opinion. And finally, you end by giving your own opinions on the subject. All right. And then you start writing your topic. Okay. That's all for the tests. Now, the last thing you have here in the book is students' feedback. This is for you to write your feedback and the outcome of the outcomes of this book and this syllabus. So you can just check whatever applies to you in your free time. All right. Um, Thank you for watching, and that's all for this lesson. And see you again in another asynchronous lesson. Goodbye.